God damn it! Welcome back to Let's Play Katawa Shoujo. I wanted to do something fancy there, you know, play along to it as an introduction after, like, what, a month? What key is that? Oh, wait. I think it's F sharp, isn't it? I think it switches key a bit. Wait for it, I want to at least play this before we get on with it. I'm screwing it up completely, who cares? So, it's been a month. It's November 1st. I'm surprised I didn't do any recording for this LP during October. I mean, sure, I was busy with recordings and all that for October, but still. Anyways. Where we left off, we had one of these scenes. Or at least we were about to. So, what to say? It's been a month. So, here's a couple of images of a pumpkin I carved, inspired by Yume from Duck Upper 2 with her glare, and a pumpkin that my brother did, which was a Pikachu. So that's interesting as well. Now with that out of the way, what else? There was something else I was going to. Ah, yeah. It's like, it's weird. I would have thought to have. Well, I probably do have more to say. It's been a bloody month, but I just can't remember jack shit. But yesterday, or rather last night, technically for me, I guess, was replying to someone on the comment section of my Dark Upper 2 LP, asking where I got the game from. Well, visual novel. It's like manga game site, right? I was like, yeah, you get it from that. I looked at the site, like, bloody hell, has the price on that always been so outrageously expensive? Holy shit. And like, all that, blah, blah, blah. But the thing I noticed that struck, just like, surprised me was, like, I can't remember the last time I even checked the site. But apparently they got Go-Go Nippon 2016 edition coming out this month, and I'm just like, they're milking that one, aren't they? But you know what? I find it fitting, because that gives me another excuse to play it at some point. Maybe after this one. Now there's that transition kind of LP into another main one. And maybe I'll be able to use my Japanese knowledge. Yes. By that I mean I will fail miserably. Because I've got, like, you know, being able to, you know, partially translate hiragana a bit better. And to a, well, non-existent extent katakana. I can barely manage that because I haven't memorized it as much as hiragana, but whatever. My pronunciation for it sucks about more than my English pronunciation, I guess. Anyways, anything else to say before we move on with the plot? Oh man, this feels awkward. It's been a month. A freaking month. Let's continue, I guess. Sorry, it's my first time, so I'm a bit rusty at voice acting. She giggles shakily, all but confirming that what I reasonably deduced by now. See, I'm already stumbling over words again. It's the same for me. I'm happy. We could share this together. God damn, I can't even remember what freaking just like. The closest to voice acting that I've done at all in a month, well, actually, there's Parasite Eve 2. It's still actually ongoing, which surprised me. It's like, I thought I was going to complete it before Halloween, but nope. And I technically did do some recording for Final Fantasy X the other day, so I've done all that, and I haven't even got around to freaking recording for this, which is pretty much the only LP that I've got going that is like a kind of like regular record upload thing. Like the other ones, so many parts recording in advance, like Final Fantasy X, I've got like 64 parts I think now, and I've like uploaded like about 40 something today as I'm recording. I haven't uploaded it yet, but that's ridiculous. Shows how much I record in advance. Actually, Gale of Darkness, I gotta remember, it's been 2 months since I last recorded for it. It's still got a lot of recording in advance. Sims Must Now, it's still ongoing. Surprisingly, 5 parts recorded a while back. I thought that it would be concluded a lot quicker, but whatever. There's that, so that's got a bit ahead. So this is the only one that's kind of like continuous feel to it. Anyways, I'm back to my old rambling self in this LP already. I that her smiled, was all leaning forward and taking my body in my arms as she reaches talking me back. I love you, Lily. You already said that. I can't help grinning. Even in such a situation, she still has her wits about her. Breaking our embrace, we decide to take off our own clothing. While it's easier this way, I don't doubt it, just an attempt to distract ourselves from our nerves. With slightly stiff hands, I begin to slide the first button out from my shirt. Why am I reading this? Must remove the last my clothes returned to half-hastily piled behind as my breath is taken by to slide in front of me. Yeah, off swit. Unless anything interesting happens, blah 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 blah. Well, actually, none of these lines so far really are like, you know, not safe for work, as it would say. It's just the fact that Lily's kind of naked. The girl in front of me, reserved yet playful, astute yet hospitable, is the girl I've fallen in love with. I lean forward delicately, delicately, taking her shoulders in my hands. As I do, she brings her hands to my chest with a slightly uneven breath. We lean into a deep kiss. I feel one of Lily's hands slowly slide up to my shoulder. It sent her head very gently moving forwards. Assuming her intent, I lean back onto the floor. She lowers herself. I do that voice a lot. I mean, what's up with that voice? She lowers herself beside me. One hand stroked my hair as yellow moves across my chest. The feeling of her breast against it is enough to excite me. Why am I on screen this? This must be a way of turning in what I've already seen of her. Despite her lack of sight, she engraves every detail of my bare body and chest into her mind. When her middle finger falls into the slight recess of my chest scar, the lingering effect of my operation so many months ago, she slowly runs her hand down its length. This is the scar from my surgery. They had to do this in order to operate on my heart. This is why, man. This is trouble. I could off-screen these scenes, but we'd miss out on dialogue like that, wouldn't we? For a moment, she's lost for words. The idea of such extensive scarring adding a new worry for her. Her expression changes from curiosity to apprehension. Should we really be doing this kind of thing? Those words bother me beyond what is rational. Lily's face breaks my heart more than even her words possibly could. Yet I don't even know the answer to her question. I can't let this condition dominate me forever. It may not even be medically advisable, but I outright refuse to live my life in such a prison. It's okay, Lily. This much will be okay. Her troubled expression holds for a moment longer, but she eventually... God, it's that word again. Acquiesces, her hand moving to my lower chest and then my thigh. With a look of slight surprise, they get it on. She tentatively blah 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 blah. Any dialogue there? Nope, just the usual stuff. Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, off screening. You know what? When you skip through the dialogue, it's pretty freaking quick. Do 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 do. It's like just like a few paragraphs at most. But all we really missed from that was, well, you know, usual kind of getting it on, and Hisao saying I love you Lily at least twice in that. You know, it must be awkward for someone to actually write that kind of section of it. It's just like, okay, so what do we do about here? Do we like how will we describe this scene without it coming off as awkward? It's impossible. After being woken by a sound, I open my eyes with a measure of reluctance. Turning my head to the left, I find the rain outside sweeps against the windows lightly. Oh shit! I just remembered. This is like it all came back to me now. Oh man, I think I don't know, man. Was it early October? It was definitely after I'd at least last recorded, so it might have been before I'd uploaded the previous part. Freaking a month ago, I don't know. But to get to the point, they're in Hokkaido, right? And I remember at some point, early October probably, just going through Google Maps, just literally just, you know, Street View. Like, let's go to Hokkaido, let's check it out. And I went to the most rural area of it, because it was like, let's see, man. Maybe it's a rural place in general. But, you know, because they're in Hokkaido and it's a rural area, I was like, okay, let's pick a rural area. And for frickin' miles, it seemed endless farmlands. I was like, bloody hell, man. Is this Japan or Wales? Because it's just like fields everywhere until you actually see any signs on the road in Japanese. It's like, could be any country, really. But it just reminded me of my own country. It's like, oh, field for miles. Well. Yeah. So that was pretty interesting, I guess. But I was just like, god damn, when are we going to actually get anywhere? It's like, oh, finally a small town or a village or something. Just like, I remember just like, you know, you go through Street View, you're just going through the roads. And I end up like doing a full freaking circle. I was like, I've seen this road before. Shit, which road's accessible? Why am I even going through the roads of Hokkaido anyway? This is random. It's just, it's weird how you can do that with Google Maps, isn't it? Or Google Earth and all that. It's just like, you know what? Going on holiday is expensive, you know? Let's do the cheapest way possible and just like Google Street View. Just like tell people, it's like, so, what did you do over the weekend? Oh, I went to Japan. Holy shit, really? Yeah. What was it like? Kind of still. What do you mean? Well, I was just going through Street View. What the hell are you talking about? I mean, it was still, as in, it was just still images. You stupid idiots. I don't know. It was kind of random. Anyways, just thought I'd mention that. Spray after the wind-blown spray lashes against the glass as if trying its hardest to make up for the summer's previous heat. I sit up in the futon, holding the back of my neck to try and subdue the pain from my awkward sleeping position. By all accounts, I should be lampening in return in the weather. Given that this is our last day here, the events of yesterday refuse to stop flooding my mind, though. You know, where the hell is the school? It's like, I mean, they go all the way to Hokkaido, and I didn't even know where Hokkaido was. I know it was in Japan, but it's like, when they say north, I didn't know they meant way up north. So where the hell is the school? How far did they have to travel? What part of Japan is it in? I have no idea, because I don't think they ever state what location they're in. But it's just a rural area, so God knows. By all accounts, I should be landed stop blood in my mind, though. Yeah, yesterday, as in last month. The feeling of holding Lily's cry. Well, I guess that was just now, essentially, but most of the day was last month. So that was a long day, wasn't it? The feeling of holding Lily's crying body in my arms. the rush of lust and hormones that flowed through us as we spent the night together. It seems almost futile to try and rationalize everything that happened. In an attempt to distract myself, I groan and lean over to retrieve my bag without standing, pulling out one bottle after another. I take the daily regimen's worth of pills from the containers and swallow them without further ado. It took a surprisingly short amount of time to get used to swallowing pills without water. That said, I suppose the same thing goes for getting used to living in a school for disabled students. Remembering Yamaku, I become all the more grateful for having the chance to get away, even if it's just for the shortest of times. I appreciate the chance to spend time alone with Lilly and Hanako, away from the bustle of school life, even considering the latest complications. I never thought I'd say it, but the idea of living away from the city in a nice, tranquil area is an inviting one. It's a thought that barely a year ago would have seemed simply ludicrous. Well, I've always lived in a rural, tranquil area, I suppose, as he would word it. Anytime I've ever been to a city, I just feel completely out of place. A flash of pink, no doubt, Hanako's gown peeks from around the corner. Realizing I must look a sight since I've only just woken up, I slap the remaining pills into my mouth and run a hand through my hair. Good morning, Hisao. What? Go. I reply to her, completely forgetting that I'm in the middle of swallowing a particularly large pill. Coughing and spluttering, I finally gag on it. Hisao! After spluttering loudly and tapping my chest a couple of times to force it down, I managed to recover. It's like, oh god, for a moment there you even stopped the rain! Doesn't she look really pale, or has she always looked this pale? Or is it just because of the lighting? Or, yeah, technically it's lighting. Just, it's one of those days. In fact, it is one of those days. Well, it technically isn't raining outside, but it's got the same, grey skies, Gives off that kind of light. Like, I've got no light on in my room, and it's the same kind of lighting because of the window. Exact same. I'm fine, sorry, I forgot I was swallowing. Sorry, I didn't mean to. I hold my hand up, gesturing for Hanako to stop. Again, it's my fault. Morning, Hanako. She paused a moment before bowing in reply. A major! Can't be asked to figure out the melody. Screw it. Walking, no staggering in behind Hanako is the familiar figure of Lilly, also dressed in her pajamas, with her eyes full of sleep and hair be wrangled. She's a sight to behold. Hi, Lilly. Good morning, Hisao. For a while, the silence hangs in the air as none of us knows what to do. There's not much of silence. You got music, you got me rambling, and you've got rain, and you've got a bird chirping occasionally in the background. Given what happened last night, we both have more than enough reason to be finding the situation awkward. Just how are we meant to react to meeting each other after something like that? The best course of action would probably be to talk to Lilly alone, to set things in order. I'll start making breakfast. Lilly evidently catches on to my train of thought. I'll help. Hanako, could you set the table? She nods her head, disappearing into a cupboard as she quickly goes about her assigned task. That's a thought. The freaking Parasite Eve 2 LP. Like, a lot of times when I voice act Aya, in my terrible voice acting way, it kind of sounds similar to the Lilly voice. You see, man, I don't really have, a lot of variety with my voice acting, especially if it's for female characters. It just all ends up sounding the goddamn same. It's like, recently, I've started, I only made 2 extra clips, but that probably be the second thing where it's like, I'm not gonna help it, but I'll make random clips probably. And I did 2 more of those, and I was like, let's have Rin do the interviews in this one, because I had Miku do that last time, and you know what? Absolutely no difference whatsoever in the voice acting. You would not be able to tell the damn difference, except for the fact that it's going to be Rin actually, you know, looking like she's actually speaking instead of Miku. It's the exact same goddamn default voice I go to. It's just like, I could technically just have Miku actually voice act with her actual voice, but that'd be too much of a hassle. Anyways, what was I even rambling about? Oh yeah, comparing just like with the Aya voice. Yeah, not a lot of variety there. She nods, her head disappearing into her cupboards as she quickly goes about her assigned task. Heck, I mean, I go to a default voice for protagonists as well, don't I? It's like, I think both Hisao, Rin in Shuffle, and Yoshiyuki in Dark Apple 2, I think I voice acted all 3 characters the exact same. I think I just kind of go to my default voice, I guess, for that, maybe. Well, I'm not sure if it's actually my default voice or not, like my proper voice or not. Probably, I don't know. I have no idea, because my voice is all over the damn place. Anyway, I'll rub a little more sleep out of my eyes as I wander over to the fridge and take out some milk, and Lily grabs various brightly coloured boxes from some of the lower cupboards to my side. While I make the rather bland-looking meal, I whisper somewhat more quietly than usual. Knowing Lily's hearing, she won't have any trouble catching what I say. Are you okay, Lily? After last night? She gives a delicate nod, her expression weak. Though her tiredness surely plays a part, she seems... Just thinking back to what I was rambling on about, it's like, okay, Aya's voice in Parasite Eve 2, the voice I gave her, sounded a bit like Lily. And you know what? It's kind of funny, because throughout the LP, I'd always just be calling just like, on Aya's legs. And now, it's fitting! Lily's legs! It all matches, it all comes together. No, it's stupid. Anyways, though I know thoroughly plays a part, she seems generally unsure about what's happened between us and how to move ahead. Can't say I blame her, considering my feelings are the same.
I'm sorry, Hisao, I wasn't thinking straight yesterday. I never stopped to consider you or Hanako, and I even went as far as...
She's winding herself up with her hands and voice both tightening. I give her a gentle bump to try and lighten up the situation. You don't have to apologize. I said I liked you as well, after all.
But I...
As her composure begins to falter, it becomes obvious there's no alternative. Turning to Lily, I gently embrace her tall frame. She offers no resistance at all, thankfully pulling back just from the edge of her emotions. Despite our reassuring embrace lasting only a matter of seconds, I notice Hanako wordlessly watching. The plate in her hand hovers inches above the table, her action halted midway by the sights. Pat on the head, pat on the head. I just felt like doing that. That's a weird habit I've got in these visual novels LPs, isn't it? Where did that originate? I know I did that because in anime you typically see a protagonist always patting the love interest on the head or something, you know. It's just I say that, but I can't even remember the last time I watched anime in general, to be honest. Yeah, try to think. I can't think, man. It's been months at least. I don't even know if I've even seen an anime this year. Yeah, I can't really think of one. But, yeah, where did that originate, though? What LP was it? For all I know, it could originate in the canon LP right from the start. Not the actual first part, but from that LP, first visual novel LP and all that. Or it could have been Planet, or it could have been God knows what, I have no idea. But pat on the head, pat on the head, pat on the window. The clatter of utensils against plates is the only sound to be heard as we silently eat. Whereas before only 2 of us may have been unsure of ourselves, the entire situation has changed. After weeks of blissful friendship, whiling away the days with shared meals and chatter with little meaning, the relationship of Lily and I, no, that of all of us, has irreversibly changed. I can't take this. Lily.
She solemnly nods, gently laying her spoon onto the plate in front of her. Neither of us knows exactly how we regard each other, let alone how Hanako would view us. This might seem abrupt, but I've confessed to Hisao. For a moment, Hanako looks almost confused, precisely the reaction I had thought she would have. She eventually nods, her spoon still in her mouth as she does. Did you accept? I did. Oh, that's a precious smile. Pat on the head. And pat on the head for you so you don't feel left out on that. She gives a smile so large and so earnest I find myself blushing. I think it's the brightest I've ever seen her expression look. And I'm happy. I'm really, really happy. I'm sorry for not telling you anything about it before. Things have been... Hanako shakes her head from side to side, imperfectly, apparently forgetting in her rush that Lily couldn't possibly notice. She begins fiddling with her fingers, looking a little more nervous than she did before. To be honest, I began to think you might like each other a while ago. At first I didn't really know what to think about it, but I decided in the end that if my friends are happy, then I'm happy. I was really glad to have another friend when we met Hisao, so you find love through him is even better, right? A feeling of relief at her acceptance of our relationship falls over me like a wave. The same happens to Lily, judging by her expression. Thank you, Hanako. I really appreciate you being so understanding. Lily's voice still sounds slightly apologetic, or at least unsure. This doesn't escape Hanako, who appears lost in thought for a few moments before turning to me. Hisao, do you mind if me and Lily go outside for a bit? No. Feel free. Hanako. Hanako gets up from her seat, taking Lily's hand and almost dragging her from the table in her excitement. Considering Lily's typically slow and steady pace, Hanako's haste makes her footing awkward and she almost loses her balance a couple of times. It's a pretty amusing sight, leaving me wordless as I watch them disappear out the door. It's only now that I realize the rain stopped, being replaced by skies seemingly all the more vivid and bright to make up for the morning's drab grey expanse. I don't see the change, Hisao. For Hanako, well, it's not raining, but I still don't see... Oh wait, it does look slightly brighter, maybe, I don't know. For Hanako, this must be a pretty big revelation. Lily and I are really the only people she associates with, almost as if we were parents in her own stead. I suppose that might well be the best way to describe the relationship we share. A father, mother and daughter, all playing around in our little make-believe family as if it could last forever. Might be a strange dynamic, and one that certainly can't last for long, but maybe, just for this one small moment, it's okay. So I stand from the table and go to join Lily and Hanako in the fields outside. I nod to myself in affirmation. This one small moment of happiness, no matter how brief, will last for me with all of us forever.